We got in the blue the Falcons, in the orange the FaZe, a best of 7. Let's get down to the Verizon Skybox.
Thank you very much, Wave, Punk, Corelli, and Achieves here to bring you all the action in this next best of 7. It's Falcons taking on FaZe. You heard the desk talk about it for about 15 minutes there, Achieves. How do you feel about this matchup getting into it?
So I think there's a lot to be said personally of the speed of Falcons, of course. We talk about it all the time, and I think there's a lot of potential for them to stop some of that more dangerous counterattack. And while I do believe there's a way forward for FaZe, how consistently you're going to be able to get there is my only question. So that's also why I think I favor Falcons here, as almost in off the kickoff, but just off the mark.
A lot of people look at FaZe, while they have consistent results, as Gibbs was mentioning, in the international stage, the defense has been inconsistent, and teams like Falcons certainly can take advantage of that. FaZe coming off a 4-2 win over the Club, in a battle in which I think was quite close for them. Club definitely putting up a strong fight.
Yep.
See how they do here against Falcons. The favorites so far here with the, of course, fan vote and the desk as first killer. Wants to pop this one high, maybe a second touch here, looking for more. Another touch comes down and a save. Turned away by Khaled, but still, FaZe trying to keep it going.
And I do think T-Bates was onto something there, talking about, yeah, try and get the ball up in the air as much as possible, but it's kind of the double-edged sword, because that kind of plays into exactly what I think the Falcons want, be able to just chase as quickly as they can at you and force you to execute tough mechanics in a tight window.
If they're not getting the man on the ball, they'll be taking away the boost as well. Falcons so great at controlling, especially the big boost canisters. Here's a shot towards net, turned away. FaZe now getting a couple quality chances towards the Falcons side. No boost here for Ahmad as he stretches out. He almost gets to the back wall there. Falcons trying to set up.
A lot of great spacing and timing for Falcons here in the mid-will as well at the start of this game. Making sure not to overcommit too far, but trying to stay as aggressive as possible. And that's a big win from TRK to keep all of FaZe playing locked in their own corner and force them to reset.
It's twice now. Ahmad has opportunities to take that air dribble, but just out of boost. Doing everything he can to keep it on the FaZe side, but first killer gonna put an end to that. A big clear downfield. FaZe not able to break through the corner, but still keeping possession here for the moment. Ahmad again poking it free. He's always been that point man for Falcons downfield, and if FaZe are a little lackadaisical with their touches, he'll get a piece of it as first killer running out of boost as well. Still trying to find this shot towards the Falcons side.
Good pressure here from FaZe, but unfortunately they do have to give up a little too much ground, and now they're right back into where they started this game, trying to hold off Falcons in their back half, which to their credit they've actually done. Talked a lot about how defense is probably going to be quite important for both teams here with how high-powered the offenses are, and no one's really made any glaring mistakes or anything like that. It's finally come down to Okala trying to outclass him. An open backboard, you got to get up there, and that's a great play from AJ.
And so far so good from FaZe defensively, but that demo might open things up. It's difficult. Taking him away. AJ was the one getting demoed. TRK unable to make anything happen there, but Falcons certainly moved up their line. Holding this one in the midfield, little back pass to TRK. He gets bumped. He gets the dunk as FaZe won it out. Khaled with no options just throws it to the FaZe side.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like Falcons searching for the right opportunity to where they actually have enough boost, because they're using all of it to keep it in the FaZe half, but that means they don't have enough to actually press the attack. And as soon as they break through one of those challenges cleanly, could spell a little trouble for the defense of FaZe if they break through.
Minute 40 left on the clock. Still scoreless here in game one. Neither team really having the upper hand. AJ, a light shot towards the net. Not good enough to break the defense quite yet. That one's over Sipical. Good pass, a good look there from FaZe, but not connecting. Now Ahmad gets AJ to dump. He'll just go right by. Can he pass it across? First killer there to deny, and Sipical gets a demo for good measure.
And that's kind of the exact issue we're talking about. Pass to himself. Here comes first killer all on its own, and Ahmad kicks it off the bar. TRK gonna take this one out. Close call for Falcons, but a nice stop.
Had to pick your spot there on the shot. Good block there from Falcons. FaZe, they've had a couple good looks here. I don't know if Falcons have really had as many as FaZe had, but still scoreless, just under a minute now. FaZe struggling with this one in their corner. You can see Falcons, they're so quick to switch the field. Seems like they have a player in every spot. Typical. Pass down to first killer. Has a flip. Almost got over Khaled.
Wow.
Still here for FaZe if they can get over it. Falcons once again easily break out.
Great recognition from pretty much everybody on the pitch right now in terms of the challenge game. Nice slowdown from Khaled, and you like to see Typical hit the brakes as well and not get too overcommitting here as we head towards OT.
Oh.
AJ through almost everyone. Ahmad able to come through and get a boost steal. FaZe Clan may be able to have the last couple of chances in regulation.
Here's another attempt. AJ still not able to get over this one. Under 10 to go. Typical tries to pop it up. Falcons defense perfect so far. First killer into the corner, maybe one last chance. Here comes Typical. Falcons didn't connect, and neither did Typical. A scoreless game one between Falcons and FaZe.
Can't say I'm too surprised. Playing out about like you'd expect. Do they execute on the kickoff? Nice turn away from O'Connor.
FaZe, they put on quite a few shots here, but maybe Falcons with the last laugh. It's not going to be Ahmad, not this time. Just clear back to the Falcons side. Typical wants a piece of Khaled, didn't get him. You can see FaZe very patient here today with Falcons. They know exactly what they're going up against. They're going to have to be a bit more calculated if they're going to take them down in this overtime. Here's a pass over to first killer. Shot on target! Touchdown! Game one in favor of FaZe!
They finally catch two of the Falcons in the same spot. TRK gives up a little ground. I'm too close. Can't close the gap fast enough, I should say. And the other two back in the same corner. Can't stop the bullet, top of the net. Huge shot from FaZe, and way to hold him off. And Typical there. He's been driving the Ecto-1 on on that one, so he's on brand. He's in the red and white.
That's right. That's right. Looks good doing it. And, you know, hey, if you want to use that car, you absolutely can. And for FaZe, they looked quite good here. 9 shots coming out between first killer and AJ. Typical actually not getting a single shot in that game, but FaZe, you could kind of feel them knocking on the door a little bit. They were testing the waters, and I'm really impressed with how they were able to be a little bit more patient in their attack, because a lot of times they get a little crazed in the final third and then they give up a counter.
And I'm actually quite glad to see FaZe come out here and outshoot Falcons, because that's exactly what I was worried about going into this one. It's like, I don't know, I feel like you got a lot of speed of Falcons there in the midfield. They may outpressure them, and that, to be fair, is kind of what T-Bates was talking about as well on Falcons. Like, yes, they're aggressive, they're adaptable, they're mechanically viable, but once they start getting a little frustrated, it feels a little one-dimensional, and to see FaZe Clan look so confident on defense and go back down to the other side and put a lot of pressure on net bodes very well for them, I think.
Well, here's a stat for you. FaZe, 35-3 in the series when they win game number 1. They've come out on top here. We'll see if that trend continues against the Falcons. But of course, Falcons not going to go down easy here. And I don't think this was a bad game from them at all.
No, not at all.
I think this was a fantastic game from them. They just couldn't find the mark. They had a couple of great passing plays.
Yep.
And I think FaZe did a great job of shutting down.
Yeah, really great defense from FaZe. Definitely the reason that they won that one. Falcons did a pretty great job generally holding pressure, but struggled to actually turn them into shooting chances. So here in game 2, you're looking to see a bit more shots on target for Falcons. You'd like the same amount of pressure. It's just a matter of being a little more efficient with your boost, as Khaled and Ahmad both kind of get stuck in the same spot. And this could be an awkward transition for Falcons to handle.
Falcons trying to make amends from game 1. TRK. Ahmad now doesn't get a second touch. First killer wants to take it himself. The desk talked about how important it is for him to step up. Now AJ and Typical, they're trying to combine, and they can't get a hold of it. First killer just having to lob it towards Falcons. But of course, Falcons don't have a lot of answers here either, as TRK looking for the backboard will just throw it there. And FaZe there to break it up.
And Falcons really trying to control a lot of boost on the pitch. They went all the way down to the FaZe side to steal a corner boost and trying to hold on in the midfield as well. So trying to exert as much map pressure as they can, but that shot off the ceiling. Everybody on Falcons running into each other on the goal line, and Khaled just trying to figure out a way forward here.
Both these teams were able to boost starve their previous matchups. Dignitas for Falcons, the club for FaZe. So it was interesting to see how they would match up here in their best of 7. And I think so far it's been quite even.
Yeah.
A couple times we've seen a few players without boost in their air dribbles, but for the most part, they've been able to put things together. AJ looking for help, and Ahmad getting a piece of it. Now TRK. Straight into the hands of Typical, and he wants to try and keep it away from the defense. AJ's there on the right side. FaZe trying to clamp down in this corner. but having to give up space to Khaled.
And you can see a few miscommunications somewhere along the line for Falcons. They are occasionally running into each other, getting stuck in the same corner with each other, and that small lapse in communication and execution on what needs to happen could open up a few more gaps for FaZe Clan.
Falcons are really struggling to break the box of FaZe. They're able to cross the midfield line, but once they get here, they're either out of boost or out of options, really. And I think that's, again, a lot of credit over to FaZe defensively for how much grief we have given them over the season. They've been able to straighten up here against the Falcons so far. Khaled, he's going to pop it up. Still looking for more, but again, no one there for Falcons. No one wants to bite at it. And now AJ pokes it through the defense. One to beat, trying to get this quick shot. And Khaled there to turn it away.
Really great approach from Khaled. You see the 1v1 coming through. Went in for the fake challenge, turned around at the right moment, didn't give up too much of the net at any one time, kept this one locked at 0-0. But you're absolutely right. Falcons currently in the dump the ball up the field strategy, and FaZe definitely willing to control it back the other way.
Ahmad and TRK, that's the duo you want. Moving downfield for Falcons. Fortunately, they haven't been able to show much here today. Ahmad again. You can see these touches, they're intended for a Falcons player to come up after him, but no one there.
Ooh.
AJ, this one's gonna be tough to read. Khaled into the corner, Sypical with a great clear. AJ there to receive. Tried to push it by Ahmad, but a great demo will slow it down.
Oh, but they still just don't have boost. The first player coming in contact with the ball for Falcons is, like you've been saying, Curly, generally so strapped. Yeah, you can start an air dribble. Yeah, you can push it, but that's a huge bump from Ahmad. Way to take that away and give TRK a nice, easy read.
Big clear and a welcome one from TRK. AJ just forced the lob to the corner. Falcons diving in here and FaZe getting the better of them. Now Sypical looking for the back wall.
Nice.
TRK again, monster clear. And Khaled's there to receive. He's got boost. Is he going straight through? AJ on the save. Falcons still hunting here. This one's popped up. Boost for Ahmad to work with. Flip reset inbound. Sypical's there. FaZe shutting them down every step of the way. And Khaled, this one, not able to break through.
Right,
Ahmad's going to go in, and this one cleared away now by FaZe.
That's when it gets so scary. You start thinking, yeah, we made the right play, kicking across to the opposite side. And then you see Ahmad waiting over there, and your heart stops all over again. FaZe doing an excellent job on defense, not losing track of anybody.
Getting in closer and closer are the Falcons. Shutout so far. Game one was an overtime.
What a bump.
It was a 0-0 overtime, and game two looking very similar here. 30 seconds left, still scoreless once again. Sypical running out of boosts, trying to make it go all the way. Falcons again. FaZe. Challenge game going in their favor. It's been tough for Falcons to break out. That's a misread.
Okay.
Now first killer shot on target. It's light and chaos here inside the box, but Falcons trying to stabilize. First killer, he's got boost to work with. TRK having to use everything to lob it. FaZe, so close, but another overtime.
Falcons are glad that ball just ran straight down the wall. They were not wanting to have to contend with a 0-second heads-up play with not a lot in the tank. Another 0-0 overtime here, and there's a really great sequence from Falcons there in the middle, and that FaZe defense, gotta give it credit. Hasn't been having to work overtime per se, but it has been having to be precise.
Some better looks there from Falcons as well, especially in the second half of game two here. They're getting their offense going. This one's dropped down. Khaled's there. Shot is high.
What a structure. Oh, that was so smart. They had two people from FaZe Clan, one on the backboard ready for the shot high, one on the ground. They knew that they could cover just about everything there, and they love that setup from FaZe. They know what's coming at them.
And that was, again, the big gripe that everyone had from FaZe, but this is the most organized we've seen their defense in a long time. Even in the tournaments that they've done well, you've still had criticisms of their defense. One of their better showings through 2 games. But as I say that, TRK threatening with boost. AJ has to take the challenge. Khaled's there, and that's a tough bounce for him to follow up on.
But they did get the boost deal, so FaZe kind of going to have to just throw this ball up the pitch, and it's all about the challenge game for them. Can they keep it in line? And that's a big play from AJ, just to give them enough time to really get set in the midfield and maybe regain possession.
The Falcons are certainly holding on to more and more of the possession. It's FaZe really just kind of throwing the ball down the field and taking 1 or 2 shots and backing off. It feels like Falcons holding more and more of that possession, almost getting that bump goal. Khaled again. AJ, bit of boost. as first killer there. He whips back around. Falcons taking their time with it. Khaled now, good touch. Force typical into the air.
Okay.
Just look out, TRK. Oh, it's a big save on the goal line again from AJ. The best look Falcons have had another one on target, this time denied by AJ. Once again. Khaled keeping possession. Falcons knocking on the door, and they want in.
Got to turn, Khaled. He has no boost. He has to give up the ground. That's a massive demo from TRK to slow down the FaZe counterattack.
That pass directly at first killer. Falcons wanting to bring this one down. Keeping possession. Khaled on the other side. TRK almost able to fake the defense. Now first killer. Flip reset. Tried to pinch it under Ahmad. 2.5 minutes of overtime. Still scoreless.
Oh boy. Just
big clear. That's not the touch you want there for your FaZe. Ahmad keeping him honest there inside the box. Khaled through one. Oh, almost able to get the dunk, but here comes Ahmad looking for two. Can he get back to it? First killer denies. A little panicked here from FaZe. That one thrown across the box.
Wow. Oh, okay. I was about to say that's a disaster. Thankfully, Falcons have a good bit of layering as well in their defense. This has been a tight overtime. Falcons definitely trying to make changes in how they approach the offense. They know that they can't just go straight towards that backboard because they're running out of boost. So now they're thinking, okay, get in front of the ball. Knock it straight down. There's the pass to the side. AJ's going to take game 2. Falcons try as they might. Cannot break down the door. A few mix-ups again, and that one actually cost him a game.
Oh no, that one just bumped by off the backboard. And FaZe Clan there to punish. That one, I think everyone was kind of looking at it from Falcons.
You just
and they got faked, came off their own player. Tough to read if you're all inside the box there, and you can see wide open on the far side was AJ, who had a crazy game 2 here. 1 goal, 1 shot, 6 saves coming out for up the 747 score. And he really kept FaZe Clan into this. Again, we talk a lot
Two games straight.
Talk a lot about their defense here. AJ certainly stepping up and keeping Falcons out.
Huge defensive show from FaZe. I mean, that's a great pass. And AJ, maybe a little fortunate, the one off the post, but in general, across the board, and there's the mixed up in the corner. Ahmad running back into the corner, just tipped it off the wall, and Khaled and TRK kind of trying to figure out what that was about. And Falcons are going to take a timeout here and take some extra time to try and figure out what they want to do. Because I actually really liked the idea, as I was talking about the change in how they were trying to push down through FaZe, because they knew they were running out of boost. They're like, okay, we've got all these air dribbles. Yeah, we can get through one guy, but it's really tough to make it through another 2 or 3. So now they're thinking, okay, get in front of the ball, drop it down into the middle of the box, and maybe we can get a much better shot on target. And they have, but at the same time, that's buying a little extra time for FaZe Clan to get set in position on defense, and they're making some great stops. And Falcons, I think it's the right time to take the timeout, because you're like, we're playing well, we're just not winning, so we need a little extra time to figure out what we want to do here.
This is the longest the Falcons have been held without a goal in a series, currently at 13 minutes and 52 seconds of in-game time. Almost 14 minutes. Falcons.
Of all people.
Of all people, have been held scoreless here, and that, I think, again, a lot of credit, I think, goes to FaZe defensively, especially in game 2, because I think they were tested a lot more. A lot more goal line saves were required because Falcons ramped up their offense a little bit. But you got to give some credit over to FaZe because they've done a great job of denying them.
And here's where you really start wondering about that point T-Bates brought up on the desk. Okay, now you get frustrated, right? So you take your time out. I think that's a good idea. Check a little bit of that, like, come on, why haven't we scored yet?
Right.
And if you come out here in game 3, and if you go another 5 minutes, and you end up in another 0-0, overtime as the win. Wow, that's great.
Wow.
If we end up in another 0-0 overtime, imagine if you're Falcons. You take a timeout and you're thinking, we got to get something done. And if you end up in another 0-0 overtime, and then is that where you collapse and you start going into this very one-dimensional, very readable offense, and is that the straw that broke the back?
It's hard to contextualize how important the mental factor is in a lot of these games, but I think everyone knows how frustrating it is to be held scoreless
2 games
in any
straight.
game, and especially at this level. Some incredible stuff coming out from FaZe and for Falcons. They've gone to the drawing board. Let's see what they come out with. They've got to break through. This FaZe Clan defense has just been immaculate here through 2 games.
Oh, wow.
What? Typical with the redirect lob downfield, and no one there from Falcons.
I mean, first killer just threw it up. Typical's thinking, yeah, no problem, I can go get that one. And for once, nobody from Falcons able to throw a hand up, as Daz likes to say. It's Typical collects.
No scoreless overtime here. FaZe striking in the first 20 seconds in game 3. And maybe another one here as First Killer threatening. Timeout. Well, not how you wanted to start off game 3 for Falcons. First Killer through 1, looking for more. Flip reset, denied by Ahmad.
A couple of days ago, I do remember roughly the stat being around 60% for winning after you take a timeout. I think it went down a little bit since then, so I think we're hovering around 55, but coming out and getting punched in the mouth in the first minute certainly doesn't bode well.
Again, you talk about mental game, and it's just another step down. Getting scored on, and maybe it's twice now. First Killer poking it free. It's 2-0 FaZe Clan.
Huge play again. This time they break through another double commit. Khaled just has to buy time, and First Killer, he didn't have the luxury of having time, just went straight for it. He's getting pushed around by a Falcons player as well, just jumped up, and Khaled, thinking he had time to grab that corner boost, delayed his approach and got beat for it.
For how reliable he's been. Oh my goodness, First Killer again. They're running up the score here in game 3.
Huge runaway game. Typical straight to the floor. TRK, I mean, that's actually about as beautiful as a line as you could ask for from that challenge angle, but when First Killer's camped out on the box, skim it right through, keep it on the floor. FaZe Clan up big, up early in game 3.
And with the scoring woes from Falcons, you really start to look at them and wonder,
here's where you...
even if they get one, can they get another?
Yeah.
It's been so difficult for them. Another one off the back wall. That one comes clean, 2 whiffs. And it's difficult. No boost to work with. We'll go back to the FaZe side.
This is where you really got to work hard if you're Falcons. This is what makes, great teams. Great teams go out there. Every great team has been shut out 2 games straight before. None of them were happy about it. But the greatest teams always find a way back some way, so gonna have to dig deep if you're Falcons right now. You have the time. It's entirely doable. It's just a matter of can you make it happen. As that one's off the bar, here comes the second one, and that one cannot be reached. Can you get 4? That's another question entirely.
There's just no way with a shot like that from typical top shelf. Ahmad.
Good effort.
Looked like he was going to go in and out, but instead failed, trying to dodge demos instead. And Typical had all the time in the world to slot that one top shelf. 4-0.
Oof.
Here in game 3, and there's still 3 minutes left on the clock.
And they're shoving. FaZe are pushing. They're not giving up. Saying now's the time to just absolutely smash them. And I think that's the right idea if you're FaZe. I mean, at this point, you've got 4 to work with. You can do pretty much anything.
Well, First Killer's going to do just that. Here comes a flip reset.
They got 5.
He got it. He pushed it through. It's 5-0 FaZe.
Gibbs is pretty frustrated. Spent the whole pre-match talking about how good First Killer was and how great FaZe were, and ends up picking Falcons, and now they're up 5 in game 3, looking to run the table and maybe go with a clean sweep shutout.
And you're not even halfway here in game 3. And you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're sitting on the FaZe Clan side, you keep going.
Oh, yeah.
In a stage like this, a series that matters so much. I mean, so many people had Falcons going deep in their run at the World Championship, and to put them in the lower bracket if they were to win this series.
Talk about the wrench it throws in everybody else in the lower bracket. I mean, no one wants to play either FaZe or Falcons in the lower bracket. Neither one's going to be fun.
Now AJ won't connect on that one. FaZe commanding game 3 here. And it really is now just, you're going to have to take the next intermission between game 3 and 4 if you're
That's all you have.
To talk it over.
Use your timeout.
Or use it now, or talk it over now in game.
Oh yeah, you can at least do that. I mean, yeah, I think when you're down 5-0 with 2 minutes, you're gonna have to just write this one off, and you just know it got away from you, and that's another small problem. That's a good adjustment from Ahmad to at least keep it there, but I think all you're really hoping for here is Falcons stop the bleeding, maybe get a few good pushes on offense, hope to score, get something on the board.
There it is.
Nope, not even there. Typical takes it away.
TRK threatening. Falcons looking for some offense, still scoreless in this entire series. This one just lobbed out. FaZe don't have to work much here. Honestly, they're just looking to run out the clock at this point.
Nice.
Poke downfield by First Killer. Falcons Need to show something here in game 3. Ahmad can't get to it fast enough. Typical. That one comes out to Khaled. Everyone pushed up from Falcons. Big clear here from first killer. He puts it on target. Nobody's getting back. 6-0 FaZe Clan.
Falcons just wanted something. They decided to stay a little bit further forward. Maybe we can get there. And then you just lose the ball in the middle of the FaZe box. First killer to himself. I think that's 2 unassisted. I think he passed it to himself twice in this game. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he called his own number on the flip reset dunk there. And now the pass to himself. Less than a minute to go. You can see it on the player face cams. Frustration there from Falcons. I mean, of course.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So they got 6-0, almost 7-0 there. Ahmad. Great save once again. Falcons, you're really just looking for one at this point here in game 3. Get something going. FaZe have just been relentless on offense, but defensively as well. Another rock-solid game, of course, keeping Falcons scoreless, but not a lot of chances. Hold on a second. As soon as I say it, Ahmad, they poke through, and Falcons finally on the board here in this series.
And they don't even care. They're just like, yep, we scored, great. Because, I mean, I'd be frustrated too. At least we got one, but
yeah,
it doesn't even make the game look good, you know what I mean? It's like, well, we still got 1-6, 1-7, potentially, who knows, but I don't know. If I'm Falcons, what am I talking about in the middle of this entire game? If I'm Falcons, I'm probably saying, guys, we gotta talk, because that has to be some type of shutdown in comms when you're running into each other that consistently at that degree.
There's gotta be something you could say to kind of de-tilt yourself, because it's frustrating here in game 3. FaZe commanding it all the way through, and they're on top here so far in this series.
Whew. Wow. What a show. And yeah, I hope first killer got MVP. 10 shots, 4 goals, 2 assists.
900 score. AJ didn't even hit 100 points. He didn't have to.
Is that an honest 2v3, Corelli?
I mean, didn't even get that many touches on it. Had 1 shot. Meanwhile, first killer 10xing his score almost.
What a show. That was FaZe Clan's game right there. I mean, you heard it in the VT, right? Before this game started. AJ's like, yeah, we did a little replay view, so I think we know what we're up against this time, and I dare say that's the game that proves you figured it out.
This is one of the most locked-in FaZe Clan series I have seen in a while.
Yeah.
And they've had some great series, but this is a different level to do this against a team like Falcons. We're just in the grand finals of the spring major, a team that everyone has going deep, and I think as the desk showed, and as you know the chat showed, everyone has to win this one. To be sitting 0-3 at the moment and blown out in game 3, 6-1, unprecedented here so far.
The 6 goals scored by FaZe is the most Falcons have allowed in the game all season long.
Wow.
Now, how do you fight that? You're sitting here thinking, man, we can't even score, and then you just suffer your worst defeat. Now you're on the brink of a sweep. Talking about great teams. No better time than now.
And you talk about payback here in the Falcons 3-1 win over FaZe in the spring major. They blew them out. Falcons blew FaZe out 6-0 in game 4. So FaZe kind of repaying that here in game 3. FaZe looking for one more game. And another goal for Typical. It's 1-0 right off the bat for FaZe Clan.
I love how Typical knew this was coming. He's just edging forward. He knows AJ's going to beat that guy, and he knows TRK can't get a strong clear. He's just waiting to see which direction it goes, and the game seems to want him to score. It went right back to him, and an easy put away. FaZe, no let up on the gas pedals. Say, great, we're going to pick up right where we left off. 15 seconds in. Let's make it 2!
The momentum from FaZe Clan is unprecedented. And another pass to himself. FaZe Clan up 2-0 in 19 seconds in game 4.
Ooh. Well, okay. Gotta shake that off as well. You know that this one can't possibly go as poorly as the previous game did. Yes, you've given up 2, but you have so much time here. And as Rocket League most often is, it's a matter of execution. And you find a way to fight against the tilt here. Not let FaZe get in your head.
And like you said in the previous game, this is the point where you really say you gotta stop the bleeding. You gotta get one back. Slow down FaZe. Knock them off the horse. They've just been sprinting And this one could be it. That's a huge save again from AJ. Defensively, a rock for FaZe. And they might need him again. Falcons ramping up another attack. This one pinched away by first killer.
They're not bad shots either.
Yeah.
They're placed top corner, back post, away from people. They're making FaZe work for it. They're just positioned so well. Falcons have a pretty decent approach to it, but I mean, defensively, like you said it already, this is the most locked in FaZe we've seen all year, and it's paying dividends right now.
Minute and a half into game 4, and double demo. Ahmad able to clear it away, looking for the back wall, but his teammates recovering. Thrown towards the wall, Ahmad trying to play interference on the goal line. Khaled wants to take a couple of challenges. Not a bad look here for Falcons. TRA, he needs to slot this one, it goes down. And FaZe with a booming clear.
Just not a lot of boost on the pitch for Falcons to work with. Just trying to use so much.
Oh boy, what a read from AJ there. You talk about FaZe being locked in, and defensively AJ, a master class here against Falcons so far.
Okay.
Khaled all by himself. Flip reset denied by AJ again. He's everywhere. And Falcons kind of calling each other off and getting wrapped up.
I actually thought that was a good idea, but Sipical just threw a space at it and was like, even if you go for the misdirection, you throw off the timing, Sipical is just like, okay, someone has to go, and this may be it with the bump, and it's still not good. TRK trying to fix it.
There it goes.
This time, Falcons will get on the board. You felt like it had to be soon, and if it wasn't then, when was it gonna be?
With that flip reset too, the setup was, everything was there for Falcons. They finally are able to break through in game 4. You talk about stopping the bleeding. They've done that here at halftime. They're back in here in game 4, and they need to get going.
Shake it out a little bit if you're Falcons. Now the important thing is you don't give one up right back. They're gonna score, make them score late when you're trying to shove, but you don't want to go down 2 again this late.
The best clear there from Sipical. AJ having to bail him out. This one pinching across, Sipical again. Tossing it downfield. FaZe, they have to be careful here. Not to let their foot off the gas. Falcons certainly ramping up. Looking better and better on offense. Khaled, more confident behind the ball. Another quality challenge, but this time it goes right out to AJ. He's looking for the air dribble, gets it over. The puck goes into the corner. Sipical with a shot, goes wide of the net. Still FaZe hunting for this one, but Falcons there to wrap it up and take control.
Frustrating if you're Sipical. You would have liked to feel like you put the game away right there, but they're not done yet. Still pushing on that Falcons goal line, and not a lot of boost to work with between all 3 of them. The only one with anything is TRK, and he's just gonna try and shove this one solo, and that's a great deflection. Ahmad was in position, and Khaled now
It's got boost
with TRK, just trying to fight off FaZe here.
Gonna be creative here from AJ, but he's got no boost. The Gus guy didn't know that. It's Sipical's gonna slot it to the right side. 3-1 now for FaZe.
He wasn't gonna miss the second chance.
Ahmad.
TRK trying to figure it out, and you're right. Ahmad just missed one. That's tough.
It looked like AJ was gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And it's tough to know when he's running out of boost.
Yeah.
Floated under it. Ahmad played the next touch. A minute left for Falcons. FaZe marching to victory here. TRK.
Okay.
Touchdown and down! Back within 1 for Falcons.
Oh, you can't get rid of it. You saw them all instantly lean forward like, okay, we're still in. They're feeling good. Happy with that goal, and wow, far down and in with authority.
And they needed that one. 56 seconds left. Falcons, the best game they've had so far. They need one more to tie things up and give themselves a shot. Khaled into the FaZe corner. Sipical taking his time.
How do you be creative with 40 seconds as Falcons?
Well, a little flip reset might help there. And that second man went. TRK, Khaled. Shot not on target. TRK again, boost to work with. Flip reset. Not gonna work out, but you can see Falcons quickly into the challenges, making life difficult, but it's a great clear from Sipical, and he opens up that sideline all the way to the Falcons side. 15 seconds left. TRK, possibly the last chance here for Falcons. This one comes across the box. Typical, just trying to stay behind this one. AJ called upon.
Oh, what a touch.
0-second time upon us. Falcons looking for anything. A sign of life. TRK can't go. It's up to Amon.
Oh, he's there.
Kellen doesn't have boost. And a big clear from Typical. They got to go the length of the field. First killer's there. It's off the crossbar.
Whoa.
It's still up. He kept it up. Oh, he's got TRK. He's got Amon. Oh, he's saved by AJ. And FaZe in the end take him down 4-0.
You had to get one last Wizard save from FaZe, didn't you? You thought for sure. They keep it up on their own goal line, and you're like, oh, here it comes. And FaZe say no. Another 6-save game from AJ. Absolutely bonkers defensive performance from FaZe Clan. You want to talk about what won that?